Today I want to talk about interacting with modules using Monk's active tiles. Now, as many of you already know, there are lots of ways that you can interact with modules just built right into Monk's active tiles. So we've got quest log here, tagger, FX master, a whole bunch of built-in functionality that you can do to interact with the various modules that you have installed. But those are capabilities that are specifically designed into Monk Active Tiles, and it's a set limited list. If you want to see the full list of what you're capable of doing in that regard, you can go to the Monk's Active Tiles wiki. As you can see, it lists all the different modules that it interacts with and what you can do with those modules. All right. Now, that is pretty simple. If you want to learn how to do individual things, you can just check on the wiki. It'll show you exactly how to do it. And I'm sure that if you're watching this video, you have probably done one or more interactions with modules using that functionality. But what I'm talking about is interacting with modules that Monk's Active Tiles has no compatibility with. There's nothing designed in Monk's Active Tiles to allow you to work with that module. So for example, I have this NPC token. It's not owned or controlled by the players, but I want to allow the players to be able to move this token or a tile or whatever. Well, there's a module that does that. It's called Move That For You. But Monk's Active Tiles has no native compatibility with Move That For You. But I can still control Move That For You from Monk's Active Tiles. So for example, for this puzzle, a bunch of stuff gets done to this NPC token. So when the puzzle gets reset, rather than going through and figuring out what's been done to it and undoing everything's been done to it to reset it back, the easier way to do it is just delete the token and create a new one. But a new token created, by default, Move That For You is disabled. So players can't move it. And by default, Monk Active Tiles can't tell it to enable because there's no functionality there for that. So what you can do is you work with the flags on whatever object it is. So you can do this with a token or a tile or whatnot. Modules interact with objects by setting flags on them. And so you can go to those flags and adjust those flags, and that adjusts the behavior of the module in relation to that object. So for example, if I wanted to look up the flags on a token, then I select the token. It's important the token is selected. This won't work if you have the wrong token selected or if you have no token selected. So I've got the token selected. I hit F12 to bring up the console. And then you type in canvas.tokens.controlled open square bracket 0 close square bracket. And the reason for that is canvas.tokens.controlled is an array of all of the tokens that are on the screen and selected, right? The first one being 0. If we only have one token selected, then the array only consists of that one token, which is element number 0, right? So we hit enter and it brings up this expandable information that is the object. So we hit this little arrow here to drop this down, and we scroll down and we're looking for document. So somewhere in here, there it is, document. We open up document, and then we go down and we see flags. We open up flags, and there's all the flags for this one token for all the different modules that have any kind of an effect on tokens. So what I want to work with is Move That For You. So I open that up so I can see what's in there. Allow player move, true. Right? So now if we go into our tile, we go down here, and it's this one here. So we're targeting based on using tagger. So with the token we want is the one tagged golem. And then flags dot move that for you dot allow player move, set it to true. And that turns on that feature for a module that Monk's Active Tiles has no compatibility with. I mean, they're not incompatibility in the sense that if you have that module installed and monks installed, they break each other. I mean, it has no capability to influence it built into itself, but it doesn't matter. By using the alter command and looking up your flags, finding out what the flag is called, and as you can see, you just go, you ignore all the previous stuff. So like document and stuff like that, you just ignore that. It already knows where to look. The base of the data tree, it knows where to look because you've got it targeted as, the use this tile or the triggering token or by tagger or whatever. So it already has that base information. It just wants to know how far you want to go from document. So we got flags dot move that for you dot allow player move, right? Flags dot move that for you dot allow player move, and set it to true. And that enables that on that token, even though there is no capability built into Monk's active tiles or built into move that for you for the two modules to talk to each other. Now, another way you can use that is this token here. When I have the token step into these areas, the areas have to check if the token has certain flags set. Or not certain flags, tags. Does it have the right tag for this square? Does it have the right tag for this square? And so on. But you can check for tags, but it's not the functionality to say, I want to know if the token that just triggered me, this is the tile wants to know if the token that just triggered itself has a specific flag or a tag. Sorry, I keep getting the terms confused. There's no functionality for that. So you can say, does any of the objects on this scene, do they have a tag? Sure, we can check for that. But we can't check using the innate functionality for tags that Monks has. But we can still check. And so this is another example where we are interacting with flags. And this time I actually mean flags. I didn't just accidentally say it like the last two times. All right, so we're doing a filter. We're filtering triggering tokens. We're looking at flags.tagger.tags. And we're checking for if it has the particular tag that we're looking for. So now we have specified not just any object in the scene that has a tag. Specifically, it's the token that is triggering me right now. And so we can check to see if the token that just stepped on me has this tag. Now, tags is an array. If we go over here and we check out tagger, it shows the array tags. Now, right now, it only has one element in it, golem, but it can have a whole bunch of them. Now, the way it works normally when you're checking something is you would say equals, right? And a string always goes inside of quotes, right? So does it have this tag? But when you're dealing with an array, you don't put any equals. And what it'll do is does this string of characters appear anywhere in the array? So it doesn't matter what order they're in, doesn't matter how many there are. It will search through the entire array, and if it finds this exact string anywhere in the array, it'll return back as true. Now, having said that, in actuality, right now, if you do it this way, it will also work. It's not supposed to work. It's a bug. So originally, this is the way that I did it, and everything worked. And then I tried to do something else. I tried to use a variable in here, and I couldn't get that to work. And so I talked to CrowGuard, and we did some back and forth, because this shouldn't work, but it does. And checking against the variable should work, and it doesn't. So as things stand right now, as of the recording of this video, you can do it this way or this way, but this is the way you're supposed to do it. And at some point in the future, they'll probably fix it, and that other way won't work. So don't do it that way. Don't do what I did. Do as I say, not as I do. And unfortunately, even doing it the right way without the equal sign, if you try and test against a variable containing this string, it won't work. We don't know why. So that's another bug as of this recording. Hopefully at some point it will get fixed in the future. I would have liked to have used variables in this solution. It would have simplified things, but unfortunately it doesn't. So again, this is a situation where although Monk's Active Tiles does have built-in functionality for working with Tagger, this particular functionality with Tagger doesn't natively exist, but you can make it work by checking the flags. So when you want to know what flags are available, you can come in here and you can take a look at the flags list. And again, you can do this. This is for tokens. You can do it for light sources. You can do it for tiles. You can do it for any object in the scene that can be tagged. Or not just that can be tagged. Like if there's an object that Tagger doesn't work with, but other modules do work with it, they will also work by flags. So you check your flags and you can find the one that does, like for example, although there is built-in functionality for writable, let's say, for example, there was something I wanted to do in relation to writable that wasn't a built-in function for Monk's Active Tiles. I could just go in here and I can see all my flags. I can set these flags. I can check these flags. And I can expand the functionality of Monk's Active Tiles in relation to installed modules, including installed modules that, don't even exist today. A new module comes out tomorrow that adds properties onto a tile or a token or whatever. You can immediately dive into those flags and work with that module that Monk has never even heard of. So I accidentally stumbled across this as I was working on this puzzle, and it's just awesome. It really expands what you can do with Monk's Active Tiles, and hopefully will spark some creative ideas in you as you're thinking about this. So hopefully I will be motivated enough to actually do a video about this puzzle. It's a cool puzzle, but right now I just wanted to focus on this genius discovery I've made, which probably there's dozens of people out there figured it out before me, but I came up with it on my own, and that's what counts. So again, hopefully you guys found this helpful and interesting. Have a good one.